Muchachos y muchachas, Andrew and Tristan Tate, these brothers have been raided overnight. Their compound / warehouse, their house was raided in Romania overnight over new allegations of human trafficking minors, and intercourse with a minor. Now, I know some of you are Tristan and Andrew Tate fans, but if you know me for my authenticity on this channel, you're going to know that I'm just going to tell the truth, and I'm going to tell the truth how I see it, okay? This is not a new thing that just sprouted out overnight, okay? And I'm so tired of this Matrix narrative that they, by the way, made up and then promoted through payroll actors that just spread this narrative. It's not true. It's not the Matrix. It's not a certain group of people that are trying to get at them just because they started talking about it. People have been talking about that particular subject, right, for years. Okay, they're not new at this. It's them actually committing a crime, right? Now, I do agree with preserving their innocence until proving guilty. The only thing that I will say about this case that's different is the amount of self-snitching videos that they have. I mean, the amount of media that they have filmed in confessing the things that they like to do with their women, with their girls, with trying to obtain young girls and teenagers, right?
Two girls have claimed Andrew Tate approached them on social media when they still attended school.
The PhD course is my recruitment system.
PhD is a pimp and hose degree.
So the recruitment process is, you message them on Instagram.
I was contacted by Andrew Tate, the older of the Tate brothers, 3 years ago when I was just 16.
Daria was 16 when she says she received a private message on Instagram 2 years ago from Andrew Tate's account. It read simply, Romanian girl, followed by a strawberry emoji.
What do you inbox the woman? I live in Bucharest, Romania. It doesn't matter if I'm in London, Bucharest, Moscow, anywhere I am. I just say Bucharest ? Or Moscow ? Or London ? Sometimes, because like I said, intrigue, I'll put a completely pointless emoji on the end. Some cherries, or an orange, or a strawberry.
I asked around to my other friends and my classmates who were also 15, 16 at the time. And a couple of them also told me they received messages.
So I messaged her. She's like, I'm only 16. I was like, give a f***. Know about me.
It was a pretty well-known fact that he had kind of a network of young girls.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck would I read for you? You've got a fit sister who's 16, maybe.
Muslims have the best frame on earth. I want a virgin wife at 16 who's going to obey me. That's what I want.
You know, you said it looks like I'm in a teenage girl's bedroom.
Yeah.
To some people, that would be an insult, but to me, I find that quite flattering, to be honest. You know, like, that's exactly what you'd expect.
Like? I'm all these 16-year-old women or 18-year-old women, whatever the law is in America. 18?
It's 18 usually. You get married at 16. I think.
All right, in Romania, it's 16, sorry.
He employed or forced, we don't know, to do video chat for him and who knows what else.
The girl you start with is the most important girl. Because the girl you start with is going to be your bottom bitch on the street. My first girl was so good, it was easy. You got to get a good one. And you're only going to find a good one by a lot of hoes.
I've got my main bitch, my bottom bitch, Vivian.
So, Vivian here.
That's how it started. I met Vivian in Slovakia. We had a long-term relationship thing. I was living in England. I moved her to England to be with me to start doing my webcam company. So Vivian's been with me 6 years.
So he's been with Vivian for 6 years, right?
Because Vivian's younger. Vivian's like 21.
Vivian's 21. And at this point, he's been her girlfriend for 6 years.
So, Vivian here.
It means that they met when she was 15 years old.
I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. Your bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl. After I started this business and realized that the only way I can get girls to work for me is to f them first, I became militant. It became my job to f girls. I was ruthless. I mean, every day I'd send 20 Instagrams.
Imagine from the second you're 15, 16 and you're hot, you have some of the most successful rich men in the world blowing up your Instagram.
I was contacted by Andrew Tate when I was just 16. I had just made my Instagram account.
There are laws to prevent them from doing it.
Yeah.
That's how much, yeah.
And they still try.
That's how you recruit girls. Do not recruit girls any other way.
That's the thing that gets me, that these pieces of media are out there. They're not altered. They're not AI. These are real things that they have said themselves. So yes, innocent until proven guilty. But at the same time, there's a lot of contextual evidence that seems to add up to one direction, right? So this is the thing that just gets to me, all right? And then this is going to be a venting video. This is completely unscripted. And I think I am going to do a lot more of these videos. I'm going to come back to commentary because culture has really shifted. It's shifted in a weird way. And honestly, I've been fatigued by it. I have been so tired and just so worn out by what's going on. But you know, it's time. It's time for me to like just voice my opinions on things, even if it's on some things, even if it is for like 5 minutes, right? Things like this where I see something fishy going on in the conservative space, right? Now, for those of you who have known me, you have followed me either here on YouTube or you have followed me on Instagram, where I was more Instagram heavy, back in the day, where I voiced my support and my political beliefs and my personal values and principles they haven't changed, right? I'm still the same principled chick. It's just I'm seeing culture move in a very fishy way, especially on the conservative side. And I know that some of you have noticed it, right? I'm leveraging this whole thing as an example, for instance. Now, so the Tates, they have these massive accounts. They have a massive account themselves, right, on different platforms. But they perpetuate these narratives that are simply not true, and they can be debunked really easily, right? And so when you see things like this happen and certain people like Candace Owens come to their defense almost immediately, you got to think, okay, is all of this organic, right? And my personal opinion, this is just my personal opinion, I don't think it's organic. I think that there's something going on with these people who have infiltrated. I believe they've been infiltrated into the conservative side, into the right wing side. And, they're making everybody look crazy, basically, right? The whole thing, right? I was actually going to make this video yesterday or the day before yesterday, but I'm glad that I got tired. I had something to do, something popped up. I'm glad that it delayed me to today because I woke up to this news on them getting arrested and held in Bucharest jail. Now, what really provoked me to just throw the towel and say, okay, there's something going on and it's really weird, is when Candace Owens held that space with Andrew Tate and Dan Bilzerian. And that even in itself is so weird because Candace Owens has evolved, and it's very sad to see how she's evolved because it's almost been like a downward spiral, in my personal opinion. She was at once like she is still articulate, but a very principled, level-headed commentator. But it's like she went there to like going into these extremes. And, I'm not going to deny, okay, let me just preface this. I am not going to deny that the things that she is talking about right now are not censorious subjects, right? She talks about, the J's and the Z's, right? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just do a simple Google search about the recent controversy surrounding Candace Owens, and you'll get your answer really quick, or maybe you guys can help each other out in the comments, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. That has been a very censorious, controversial subject forever, right? You can't talk about that, whatever, right? And this video is not about that. It's the fact that all of a sudden this is a pivot that she decides to take, right? And so she takes this pivot. In my personal opinion, I believe that it's a life support for her career that has now gone independent, and she needs this viral engagement all the time to uphold her career. Either that or there's some sort of coordinated effort behind it. Okay. Now that's my own little conspiracy theory behind Candace Owens. If you want, I'll probably do a video about that, but I don't know. But it's the fact that she, throughout her recent rants and her beliefs, she's always talking about like, oh, these OnlyFans girls. And I believe there is a very degenerate, I guess like decline in our culture. Right. And I do understand that with pornography and, these graphic pieces of media that are becoming more and more readily available, this is definitely contributing to the decline of our society. So there's portions that I do agree with, right? But it's like she's hypocritical. She'll go hard on like, single women and childless women, OnlyFans girls, models, and she'll go really, really hard on that, but then she'll platform and she'll talk about traditional values all day, but then she'll platform two degenerate men as like these voices of reason on her recent Twitter space. If you guys don't know what a Twitter space is, it's basically like a podcast that you listen in on live, right? So, Andrew Tate, once again, like, there is video evidence of him talking about wanting to pursue, engage, ensorcel, whatever you want to call it, with minors, right? Or with young ladies, right? That already to me is predatory. And you guys know that I have experience in the anti-trafficking space. There have been multiple trainings, multiple, aftercare, courses that I've had to attend myself. This is textbook coercion, textbook, whatever, you know what I mean? So there's that, right? But then she also platforms Dan Bilzerian, who is rumored to have his models and whoever is, I guess part of his entourage for whatever day, right? Not only that, like it's rumored that he's had these models sign NDAs, right? So that's why you don't hear any controversies coming from Dan Bilzerian. But also, like, look at his lifestyle, right? First of all of that you saw in the earlier years in the thousands of him being surrounded by this entourage of women and like half naked women and all these things, like half of that was financed through something that was not legitimate. Like he didn't have legitimate wealth, right? He had tax problems eventually. He didn't live this lifestyle that was true, right? So he's living this fraudulent lifestyle, but not only that, he utilized his fraudulent lifestyle to buy degeneracy, right? This man's logo, for crying out loud, is similar to the Baphomet, right? So you have this man that like films his sexcapades and like, creates this image of what, this entourage of girls all the time, right? And we consider that degenerate culture, but she platforms these two as voices of reason, and all of a sudden, like, they're the experts on this whole thing, right? The other thing that I will say, right? So that's a quick point, right? And I think you can chew on that for a while. I don't think I have to say much to that. The other thing that I will say is that the subject that she talks about, again, with the very censorious subject, it's very controversial, people have been deplatformed and lost their accounts and all these things over the things that she talks about. And that's the thing that gets me too. I'm like, I know that I've seen this because I've seen accounts. I've seen accounts that have been nuked and they have lost their entire livelihoods and all of this, right? If they even mentioned a little bit of what she's talking about, somehow she's getting paid millions of dollars. She hasn't been censored. I don't know that she's been demonetized on YouTube, right? Or any other platform. And sometimes somehow she has this like green pass to just go. Does anybody find this weird? Does anybody find this like this very strange? Is anybody not questioning this? Like it's so strange to me that certain accounts will get the pass to like go and post whatever they want. But it's like whenever anyone else is doing it, like they will get censored immediately. They'll get flagged immediately. So anyways, I just wanted to come on and rant about that because I just find the way that people are thinking and the way that people are consuming this media, if they're not thinking critically, I just find it strange because we went through the whole thing, you know, in 2020. We went through the whole thing. we saw with our own eyes us getting censored and, you know, all these things, like for saying our opinions on certain things. And it's like, it's just crazy. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you guys so much. I will be back with another video. Bye-bye.